worry about finishing your degree and doing whatever you're gonna do, whatever.
Go back to just taking comfortable shits.
Wow, like, you don't know that man's life. You don't know what his movements
yeah, but bro, if I lost feeling in my legs, you think I'm gonna be able to like? Your
bowels might be. All right, let's get off this topic.
Your feet might be bad. Like, no, seriously. Like, you lose. No, you lose feeling in your legs. Like,
no,
it takes
I get what
you're
saying, but still.
Like, bro, take it day to day.
I know it's internet and radio, but still, man.
Don't worry about football right now, man.
Didn't you take media law?
Yeah, I did. Passed it too.
Obscene. All right, so this is a topic I didn't get to on the open part of the show, and I think I want to close on it just before we get to the rants. I want to close on it just because it kind of ties everything that we've talked about on the Touchdowns and Tangents show. Since we love to talk about activism and social justice, and we are talking about the combine.
Got like 15 minutes to kill.
We could just end the show whenever we want. It's called creative freedom. But all right. Anyways, Stan Van Gundy, Detroit Pistons head coach
and GM,
came out and said, basically, and I'm paraphrasing here, he basically said that NFL and NBA, the restraints they have on college athletes, and he's talking about it in the sense of the whole NCAA investigation, which Kenny mentioned a little bit earlier. And he's saying it's basically racist that the NFL forces their players to play 3 years of college football before they can go pro. And the NBA forces their players to take a year out of high school before they can go pro, which usually means college, but it could also mean, going to Europe or whatever the case. And Van Gundy's point was the MLB, the NHL, you can get drafted out of high school, you can play in the minor leagues, and you play in the farm systems, and you work your way up. And nobody says anything. Nobody says those people need to be student athletes. Nobody says they need to be amateurs and not make money. Nobody says anything about them. Why? Because they're predominantly white.
Dope. And also add in the underlying fact when it comes to football, when you have the new transfer rules to where essentially a kid can just say, yeah, I was at Long Beach Poly, I'm transferring to Mater Dei. And making the school a ton of money because like Mater Dei had 6 guys go D1, and that's great for the school. But that kid who gets that scholarship to that great school is going to a system that doesn't respect his autonomy, only wants to use his body and skill set, and doesn't even respect his autonomy as a scholar athlete. Because they literally dictate your schedule at the next level. Hockey's different in terms of... Because just you don't necessarily play hockey all year round. Football is something where you're literally making the school money all year round. On the West Coast, hockey isn't necessarily something that is making schools tons of money. It's either, like, at CSUN, they have club hockey, and they're good. They've been around for a long time, but when it comes to revenue streams, one is way more profitable than the other. On the East Coast, obviously, hockey is much bigger. But to further your point, even
not my point, Stan's point.
To further Stan's point, they're literally cherry picking off the talent of black athletes in certain sports. And like when it comes to golf, or let's say if you're a really talented singer, you can leave school whenever you want. That one dude who won the Masters, Jordan something, I forget his last name. It's a white dude. He was going to UCLA. He decided, I'm just going to go pro out of high school. Or no, he was actually at UCLA. He decided he was just going to go pro in golf. And got a bunch of money, endorsement deals. It was all good. No one says anything in sports like that. But when it comes to a sport where some black kids can actually have some financial autonomy and build some wealth, nope, it's not allowed. He made an excellent point. Because we all know the AAU circuit is a scam.
I think what this whole NCAA investigation is going to prove is exactly how the NFL and NBA have basically finessed the NCAA into being a minor league. And as you know, I am pro student athlete. I am pro athletes. Student athletes shouldn't get paid because I feel like there is a exponential value on education. But the rub is when you have a player who is clearly not there for school and clearly only there to get to the next level. That's where my issue is, because that person is taking up someone else's scholarship and taking up a seat in someone else's classroom. So to further Stan's point, I think, yeah, let's call a spade a spade. These people should be able to go pro, and they should be able to see if they can survive. If you're really that good, you're going to find out quick. And the NFL and NCAA needs to stop acting like it's serving the greater good by forcing these kids to go to college when they really don't want to.
Well, no, NFL, your body ain't like these high school freshmen ain't ready, or these high school seniors aren't ready to deal with NFL grown men.
And I agree with that, but at the same time,
they're not ready.
But at the same time, the answer isn't to go and be a student athlete. The answer is probably to go and bang weights and play football.
Bro, you and I both know you're different.
I'm not saying
that.
And that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, okay, then go play minor league football, but let's not sugarcoat
There's no minor league football league. Where are you going to go? Canada?
But that's what I'm saying, is that's where the issue is because
it's different. Football brings in billions of dollars of revenue. On top of that, the NCAA is
I'm not arguing with you. I'm not arguing with you.
I'm not either.
I'm saying it's wrong. Because
basketball,
what I'm saying is it's wrong. Because there should be a minor league so that we don't have to pretend
college
that these
is the minor league.
Are you done?
Like you
Are
said,
you done?
No, I'm saying,
done?
like you said in your own point, the NFL perfectly finessed the college NCAA ranks.
And that's what I'm trying to
say. Basketball, you
don't
really need to go to college.
Well, my point is, what I'm trying to say is that it's wrong. Because, yeah, you might need 3 years to get your body right, but hey, maybe it's a matter of being drafted out of high school and then playing for 2 years in a developmental league. But what I'm saying is, stop sugarcoating it and saying these kids are there to be student athletes and wasting
when they make
academic and taxpayer money when they're really just there to make you billions of dollars. So let them go make someone else billions of dollars in a minor league.
But the NCAA is a 501c3, so they get away with this. And no one like Jalen Rose.
No, the reason why reason why they get away with it is because they funnel the money back into the other 19, 30 or whatever.
It's money laundering. It's literally selling
the
dope.
19 to 30 other college sports that need the funding.
It's selling dope and then running that dope through a nail salon. It's money laundering. Because guess what? These kids still don't have lifetime health insurance. I bet some of these athletes, even from non-revenue sports, probably have knees that don't really work, and they're 27 by the time they're 27. Injuries happen. Wrestlers, you hear about all the wrestlers who get so many injuries.
Yeah, but if you get your degree,
anybody talk about them?
I don't care.
Even with the degree.
You know I don't care.
I know you don't
we've
care.
had this argument plenty of times. No. You get your degree, it comes with the cost of doing business. So,
bro, even if you get the degree, it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work out. It doesn't.
Yes.
It doesn't make up for the financial, the Northwestern case.
Yes, you are right.
It's perfect because these cats weren't even allowed to have their own businesses in college, and they're business majors, and they made their own business.
You are right.
And they say you lose your eligibility if you do this. The
Central
Florida kicker.
But those are separate issues. Those are separate issues.
Those are all under the same umbrella of allowing college athletes to have their own economic autonomy.
No. Because one is a smaller part of the larger sum. You can change the smaller part without changing the larger part. I agree. A student athlete should be able to make their own money outside of sports.
They can't even have jobs.
I know that. Okay.
They can't even work the same jobs that I would have worked or you would have worked in college.
What I'm saying is they can erase that, but I'm just saying a full-on salary, I'm not with it.
Oh, well, okay. Salary, obviously.
I'm not with it.
But I'm saying stipend, lifetime health insurance.
I can get on board with that.
Autonomy over your own name.
I can get on board with that.
You should be allowed to make money with your own likeness.
I can get on board with that.
You should be allowed to be like, I can go make money off my name because I'm a famous D1 athlete. Boom. 5-star. Think about it. How much money does Duke get for all these 5-star athletes coming in? All those trash-ass white boys on their bench who never play. You really think anybody cares about them? No, they keep the team GPA up.
And
Keep it a buck.
Last thing I want to talk about before we close out the show with our rants is and the reason why is because it's so close to home. Jonathan Martin made some threats on Instagram last week.
Very violent.
Basically took a picture of a gun and some shells, tagged some bullies from high school, tagged some bullies from the NFL.
He tagged Marquise Pouncey? No, the Dolphin center and Richie Incognito on his Snapchat.
And then some other people he played with in high school, too.
Was it Oaks Christian?
Nah, Harvard Westlake.
Harvard Westlake. There we go.
Right here in L.A. And the school shut down last week.
Yep.
They now have a restraining order on him. So, any thoughts you want to say?
See, I was gonna make a light-skinned dude joke, but I'll wait. I feel like all of us as kids bully each other one way or another. Just a form of, it's almost like a form of social stratification, like what you can handle, like shooting the dozens. Like I grew up at a spot when I was in East Oakland in the first grade. We literally fought each other every day. Like it wasn't like hatred. We just fought each other. We beat each other up every day. Like it was roughhousing. And the fact that this dude went his whole life, I guess, just kept being bullied or never standing up, and it's weird because he was like an All-American at Stanford. I'm like, dude,
big ass dude and strong,
big ass dude, like bro,
athletic, super athletic.
Yeah, not super athletic, but athletic. But like
for a tackle, he was super athletic.
Yeah, for like so the fact that it didn't work out with him, like he really has a mental thing going on, and I hope he gets some help. That's a mental issue where it's like, dude, you could crush most of the people talking shit about you. Like most dudes would beat Richie Cognito's ass, me included, because he don't want that smoke. Like that, like racist cats who are that big and buff, like low key, they're pussy cats. Some of them are pussy cats. Some of them are real, but still, in this case, all it takes is a dumbbell to the side of your head while we're working out, and you bleeding all over the floor for you to realize, hey, you shouldn't really be trying to bully me. I'm a grown ass man. Honestly, violence works in cases where someone who's bullying you just doesn't get the point. In this case, yo, you can't be going around doing that. That's not cool at all.
I think the biggest thing
he really needs help.
The biggest thing for me is bullying is really an issue when there isn't that positive reinforcement at home. When you don't have something telling you that you are shit. When you have people telling you you aren't shit. I mean, yeah, we all hear that every day, but it's worse when you don't have anyone at home. So it really comes down to support systems as well as the person, you know, like you said, reaching out for help, getting help. All right, so let's close it out. Rants, you want to go first? You want me to go first?
You go first because you're like a diehard Rams fan.
All right, we don't have a lot of time, so I already pretty much adjust the Rams thing. I already adjust the Rams thing. The main thing I want to say is if you've listened to this podcast before, me and Kenny have been grinding at this for really damn near 3 years, really 2 years. But the biggest thing is,
feels like 4.
The biggest thing is, and my biggest issue is with our people, man. Where y'all at? Why don't y'all listen? Why don't y'all subscribe? Why don't y'all rate? Why don't you? Everyone wants to like the Instagram post. Everyone wants to be like, oh, good stuff. Everyone wants to be like, oh, I know you're doing podcasting. But it's like, man, even if you're not a football person, you could listen in. Man, even if you're not a football person, you know someone who is. You could share it. You could subscribe it. You could really, you know, support our dreams and support minority excellence. But you're not. You're asleep. And that's why, even though I hung up on some people, man, I really do love all y'all. Andrew, Nick, Keith, you guys are supporting the dream. And I don't want to, you know, overlook that. But for the rest of y'all, where y'all at, first off. Second off, if you do call in, don't be scared to get ran. Just